Hey everybody, Dan here with painfreeyou.com. Today's topic is going to be, it doesn't matter if you fall off track with this TMS stuff. So I'll get to that in a minute. Enjoy the birds, blue skies, white clouds, beautiful lake, the mountain view across the lake. Not really a mountain, a little bit more like a hill. Breathe a little bit. Let your body relax. As much as you can, just let your body sink into wherever you are, so that you can breathe comfortably. Because if you're tight and tense, your chest and abdomen cannot expand and you can't breathe fully, which means you're breathing shallow, which means your brain's interpreting that as danger. So just breathe naturally. Not exaggerated. If you like the counting, do that. But I don't think we need to. I think if we're relaxed and we're breathing comfortably, then the brain will naturally recognize that as, hey, look, they're safe. They're not breathing shallow. They're not clenched tight. Right? That's one of the second keys in my recommendations, is to teach the brain that you're safe physically by having a relaxed body and breathing comfortably. It's not about breath work. It's not about meditation. It's not about stretches or yoga or anything fancy. Simply put, the brain will interpret a relaxed body, breathing comfortably, as somebody who's safe. So don't overcomplicate it. Alright, so the topic of today's video, it doesn't matter if you have fallen off track. Let's say your symptoms went the wrong direction, they kind of bounced back up. And let's say your mindset kind of went in the toilet, right? You became fearful again, you freaked out, you started to catastrophize and start to question, is this really TMS? Why did it go up? What did I do wrong? What caused this? I have to figure it out, right? We've been talking about this stuff the last several days. No need to figure it out, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't matter if you go off track. What matters is noticing it and what you do next. Because if you go off track and then you notice it, and you think the next appropriate action is to beat the crap out of yourself and judge yourself harshly and then convince yourself further that you're never going to get better because you went off track, it's not what I'm recommending. It doesn't matter if you go off track. Just get back on track. It's like, you ever go on a long trip, you took a wrong turn, what do? Yeah, you might get pissed off for a little bit, but then you reroute and you get back on the main road and you keep on going on your journey. And you might laugh about it, or you might be upset about it, but the key is to get right back on the path and keep going. Yeah, there's a scene from a Rocky Balboa, a Rocky movie, where he's talking to his son out in the street. He says, it doesn't matter how many times you get hit, it matters how many times you get back up and keep going. Something to that effect. And that's it. You're going to get off track. You're going to have times where your mindset goes out the window. Inevitably, that's when your symptoms have taken a shift for the worse, and you get stuck in the fear and the need to figure it out, and the self-judgment. I must have done something wrong if my pain went up. It's supposed to be getting better, not worse, and oh my God, and what did I do? Well, first of all, let me just say, if your symptoms get worse, you may not have done anything wrong. And there's zero value in trying to figure out what you did wrong so that you can fix that thing, because all that does is keep you convinced that you're screwing up and something's wrong and broken. Okay, so the symptoms went up. Big deal. So what? Whatever. And I know some of you are in a state where you're saying, you're nuts, Dan. There's no way I can be so what, whatever, don't care. I have absolutely care. But I guess I'll ask you, when has caring so much to desperately get rid of these symptoms and sensations actually helped them go away? Inevitably, it's the times when you are engaged in living life, you're not in a fixing mode, you're not focusing on it, you're kind of doing something that captures your attention. It's during those times when the symptoms inevitably feel better. Wow, I was just at a neighbor's house for 2 hours and I just realized my sensations were not bothering me. Right? So it's when we are not so desperately trying to fix things or judge how we're doing with it that things sometimes get better. It seems counterintuitive, but when you realize this is all based on the brain's perception of danger, pain is a protector. And so if the brain feels safe because you are hanging out with your spouse, your kids, your grandmother, your neighbors, your friends, and you're not really thinking about and trying to fix and figure out and judge yourself for doing it wrong, the brain goes, oh, look, they're fine. The whole system settles down. So as far as getting off track, I'm not even going to identify what that means, what that looks like. You know what that means. I mean, I've been talking about having the right mindset, which is more of an indifference if you can get there, but at minimum, the ability to calmly reassure yourself if you start to notice yourself falling into the fear. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean repress the fear, right? So if you're feeling fear, acknowledge it. Yeah, I really am scared. But, ... I know what's going on. I know my body's okay. How do I know that? Because I've studied this thing called TMS. I've listened to Dan and his perceived danger pain presentations. I've done the assessments, the pain test, Dr. Schubner's FIT, F-I-T assessment. Those are both at painfreeyou.com/start. If you're in doubt, do the assessments, get clear, because without clarity, the brain's going to remain concerned that you might be doing something that is unsafe. Therefore, the protectometer, this thing called pain, is going to sound. And the protectometer is a term that Lorimer Moseley from Australia uses, so giving him credit for his term. Protectometer. Basically, pain is a protector. So it really, really, really does not matter that you got off track. And I want to point out, you are not going all the way back to square one. You can't. You can't forget the things you've learned about. Right? So you're not starting over. So people worry, well, I keep on, freaking out, and how much is that setting me back? I think it only sets you back until the next time that you authentically get the right mindset and reassure yourself that you're going to be okay and send the right messages of safety to the brain. I don't think falling off track means that it's going to take you weeks or months to get back on track. Nope. No, I think the next time you can authentically go, darn it, I know what's going on. I got off track, not a big deal. Come on, back over here. We're going to get on the straight and narrow. And we're going to stick with this commitment to this TMS concept, this perceived danger pain concept, to the concept that safety is the solution. Teaching the brain that you're actually okay is the solution. A lot of that comes with belief. If you truly believed, I'd venture to say you wouldn't feel like you're falling off track as much. Right? You may feel like your belief wavers. If I'm feeling good, I believe. And if it hurts bad, belief is out the window, right? Who feels that way? Raise your hand, comment below. But what really turns the corner for everybody is when they can believe it's just mind, body, TMS, perceived danger, in spite of the sensations. Meaning, if the sensations are even high, your belief doesn't waver. If it does, go back to the clarity. Remind yourself what is causing the pain. The brain's perception of danger. Simple. End of story. You don't have to figure out what happened. You don't need 38 items to avoid in order to stay pain-free. No. And if you've got multiple symptoms, you don't have multiple problems. You've got one. Perceived danger, pain or symptoms, regardless of what you're experiencing. One problem to solve, not 18, not 70, not 1 or 2, just one. It's really important to recognize that. It makes it much more accessible, because when the brain feels safe, all these wide variety of symptoms can start dropping off. So, I'm going to wrap it up there. Give you another last look at the lake here. It's late in the afternoon. That's the kayak under the tarp. Had some rain earlier today, so I had to cover it up. So, you guys and gals are awesome. Love you. And if you fall off track, don't worry about it. Just get back to authentically reassuring yourself you're going to be okay. And that's about all the time that you've lost by going off track. And oh, by the way, what's fascinating is even if you believe and are judging yourself for going off track, that is a learning opportunity. If you allow yourself falling off track to freak you out and you stay lost in despair for a week, what can you learn from that? You can learn that, oh shoot, I fell off track, but I stayed off track much longer than I needed to. And when I eventually got back on track, things settled down again. So the lesson to learn from falling off track is actually, it's not a big deal. Let me get back on track sooner with less judgment and criticism of myself for slipping off the track. You're not perfect. You don't have to be. You're going to go off track. You're going to hit speed bumps. The roads are going to zig and zag. You're going to make a wrong turn. That's okay. Just get back on track sooner than later. So, love you guys and gals. We'll see you tomorrow, probably right here from the dock. So, take care.